Welcome to this video. In this video, we'll talk about data sufficiency common traps. So data sufficiency is one of the question type in the data insight section, which we all know that, and it's a very commonly tested question type in the data insight section. So knowing these common traps will help you avoid this trap during the exam. GMAT very well know that during the exam pressure, how student will react and what answer choice they will pick as a trap. So they will set those trap in the data sufficiency question type. So our job is to know those common traps and try to avoid those common traps during the exam. Let's take a look at the first trap. In fact, in the series of videos next, we will cover all the possible traps in the data sufficiency question type. So in this question, as you could see, they have given Tom, Jane and Sue each purchased a new house. The average arithmetic price, right, arithmetic mean price of the three houses was $1,20,000. What was the median price of the three houses? So it's a value based data sufficiency question, which we know that a value based means we have to find out a unique value here. Now there are two types of data sufficiency, one is yes or no, another value based. Now we have to find a unique value of the median price. Value based is this is the value based one, and we have to find out the median price here. So what is median? Median is a middle value when arranged in an order. So they have given three house prices, three houses, right? So middle value would be the second price when arranged in order, right? When arranged in an order. Now if it is an even number of elements, I would have taken the average of the middle two values, but here it is odd number of elements. So three houses, three is an odd number. So we have to find out the second position, that is second price when arranged in order. Okay. Now we know that we have to find a unique value here because it's a value based data sufficiency question, and what we need we are clear, but let's try to find out what do we know from the question. So what do we know? If T is the Tom's price, J is the Jane's price, S is the Sue price, we do know that average of the three prices was $1,20,000. What is average? Average means sum of all the prices divided by the number of elements, right? Average is sum divided by the number of elements, which we know very well in this question as $1,20,000. So if you little bit look carefully here, there are three zeros common in everywhere in the question. These three zeros, whether to use it or not, it's up to you. It's not necessary to use it here because anyways it is common. So just strike this off and work for 120, not going to affect your final answer. Because anyways all three zeros everywhere in the question, we have struck it off. So now average is 120, then the sum of three prices would be 120 into 3. That is the information we could know from the given data before we head into the statements, right. So T plus J plus S is equal to 120 into 3, which is equal to 360. So sum of the three house prices is 360. But still we need to find out what is the second price, right. So of course, right, we need to know the statements now. So set up your scratch paper for the data sufficiency question type. We know there are 5 answer choices A, B, C, D and E. A is statement 1 alone sufficient but not 2 alone. B is statement 2 alone but not 1 alone. C together they are sufficient but individually they are not. D is each alone sufficient and E is neither alone or together it is sufficient. So you have to evaluate these two statements. I am sure all of you know what are the question, right, answer choices for the data sufficiency question type. Okay. Now what is the first thing student will do? First statement they will read price of Tom's house was 110. So that is T is equal to 110. Now they will they'll realize that J and S value they do not know. Only if they know J and S value they can arrange it in order and tell which is the middle value. So they will eliminate the statement 1 alone and they will move on to the statement 2. Likewise statement 2 they have said the price of Jane's house was $120. Now J will be equal to 120, like immediately they will conclude that okay, like statement 1, statement 2 also been provided only one variable, right, one value. Still we do not know what is T and S when we are solving statement 2. So statement 2 alone is not sufficient. So they will combine. Now immediately their eyes will lit up because T value is 110, J value is 120. We already know an equation T plus J plus S is equal to 360. This information we know already. Now, if T plus J plus S is equal to 360, knowing T and J will help us find out S value. Then we can arrange them in order. So basically here T if you substitute 110, J you substitute 120, S will be equal to 130. This is 110 plus 120, 230. 230 subtracting with 360, you get S value as 130. Now arranging this, we understand that T is 110, J is 120, S is 130. 120 is the middle value, and we end up picking the answer as C, which is exactly what GMAT wants you to pick, but exactly the trap answer. Do not do this. Do not hastily conclude that together it is sufficient to answer here. We call this in GMAT as a C trap. Think about it. This is a 600 level information when you are picking the answer as C. You know the value of T, you know the value of J. Is it going to be a rocket science to find out the value of S? Because they already have said sum of the three values is equal to 360. Anybody could find it the value of S because it's so simple. When it's going to be too obvious, ensure that you cross check, and most importantly, follow the process in the data sufficiency question. So what is the process? When you are evaluating individual statement, do not conclude without a clear evidence that the statement 1 alone is insufficient or statement 2 alone is insufficient, right? Hasted. Be clear, you might get different values. Here it's a value based data sufficiency question. Since it is a value based data sufficiency question, you have to have a unique value. So if you get multiple values for that unknown, which is in this case, we have to find out what is the median price, the second price, right? If we get multiple values, then the statement is insufficient. But are we getting the multiple values is what you have to first check individually, then start combining. Now, T is equal to 110 and J plus S will be equal to 110 subtracted with 360, which is equal to 250. Now, J and S we still do not know. But suppose, let's say if J is 100, S is 150, then the median would be 110, the T value, because 100, 110, 150, so 110 is the median. But suppose if J is 120, then S would be 130, then what would be the median? Then 110 becomes the least and 120 becomes the median now. Now I have two different values of median, then statement 1 individually is not sufficient. We can strike off answer choices A or D. We know that it is now BCE approach, A and D are out. Now second statement, J is equal to 120. If J is 120, then we do know that T plus S is equal to 240. Okay. Now T plus S is equal to 240. What possible? Maybe T is lesser than S. So in that case, maybe if T is 100, S is 140, then the median would be 100, 120 and 140 because J is 120. So 120 is still the median. Okay, maybe T is more. Maybe T is 130 and S is 110. Okay, sum is 240. But what is the median? Median is still the 120. Okay, now maybe they are split evenly, right? Maybe they are split evenly. If they are split evenly, then 120 and 120, median would be still 120, irrespective of whatever the value of T and S you give, median is going to be still that 120 only. It's not going to change, right? Why? We'll take a look at it, a deeper look at that. But you see, if I take T value as 0, S value as T, T value cannot be 0, but let's say assume T value as 0, then S value is 240. Even then 0, 120 and 240, 120 is a median, right? So median is irrespective of whatever the value of T and S. Second price is going to be the Jane's price, Jane's house price, which is 120, which we can answer it without even combining, that is without taking statement 1 into consideration. We didn't want to know what is the value of T here. We were able to answer with J is equal to 120. 2 alone is sufficient. Eliminate the answer choice C and E. Answer is B. So 2 alone is sufficient to answer this question here. This is what exactly you need to do before you conclude that individual statement are not sufficient. You be sure that there will be multiple values for a value based data sufficiency question so that the statement is insufficient. You couldn't come up with multiple different answers for the whatever the value the question has asked, then that statement is sufficient. Here all the values leads to the median as 120 irrespective of whatever you try for T and S. So why this happens in this question? The logic behind is, you see, if I'm giving you average of three numbers as 30, right? Let's say maybe a smaller value, average of three numbers as 10. If average of three numbers is 10, then I know that the sum of three numbers has to be equal to 10 into 3, which is 30. Now, if I say one of the numbers is equal to the average, one of the numbers is equal to the average value, let's say B is equal to 10, then A and C should be such a way that either they should be equal to 10 and 10, or if A is less than 10, how much ever A is less than the average, C has to be that much amount more than the average. For example, if I take A value as 8, it's just 2 less than the average is 10, right? Average is 10. Then I have to take C 2 exactly more than the average because A has taken 2 less than the average. So that means C has to be 12. Then only the sum will be equal to 30. You take anything, maybe A is 5, 5 less than the average, then C has to be 15, then only the average will be equal to 10, right? Okay. So that's the logic here also, because average price is given as 120 and Jane's price is also 120. You have to be little bit careful about that. So if Jane's house price is 120, which is equal to the average, the other two prices either has to be equal to the average or one less than the average and one more than the average. In all the cases, median will be equal to the Jane's price only, because one less than the median and one more than the median, or all three are equal to the same. All three values are same means all three values are equal to the median, the same value, which is 120 in this case. Okay. So hope you have understood this trap. So what, as a GMAT test taker, what you should do? When something look too obvious as a calculation, right? You see, like I said, T value is given, J value is given, and T plus J plus S, which given in the question as 360. Then finding the S value is no big deal, and finding what is the middle term in three terms, I already know all the three values. Finding the middle term is too obvious. When it is too obvious, cross check. Do not enter into a mindset that whenever the answer is C, it is a trap. It is not like that. Whenever the answer C is too obvious, right, too easy to calculate, it is better to cross check before you conclude, right? Before you conclude that C is whether it's sufficient. And even more, the most important point here to avoid this trap is individual statements you evaluate, right? To avoid these traps, right? C traps specifically, individual statements you evaluate such a way that you're clear that that statement gives you two different answers. If it is a value based question, it gives you two different values. If it is a yes or no data sufficiency question, it gives you a yes answer and a no answer for different values, right? The same statement gives both yes and a no answer, then it is obviously not sufficient. Be clear that don't randomly conclude individually they are insufficient. So if you do that process correctly, you will not fall for this trap. If you have understood this trap, then I would suggest you to try this question as a homework and leave your answer in the comments. Hopefully you will be able to identify the trap. Remember the learnings which you got from this video. See you in another video. Thank you.